I've got another What's Up Wednesday tip for you. Lindsay here, and I'm hoping while you're watching this short little tip for you, you're going to be saying, Slides does that? Because Slides does some really cool things that I am super pumped about showing you. Okay, so I've got a very, very simple slideshow just to show you the things that I want to talk about. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the laser pointer. Now, this has been here for a while, and so you may or may not know this is here. But when I'm in presentation mode, so I've got this in presentation mode, I'm talking about my content. Notice if I hover, I've got the little pop-up menu that shows down here in the bottom left. If I click the three dots, there is the option to turn on the laser pointer. And y'all, basically, it's a laser pointer. And so wherever you move your mouse, it does like a little laser pointer. Really love this. And for a while, this was the only tool that was in here. And so it was really good for teachers to kind of pull this up and say, okay, I really want you to focus on the laser pointer right here on this map or whatever it is you're demonstrating. So I like the laser pointer. That's one of the things that's been there. And so once you turn it on, you just go back to the three dots and you turn it off. So laser pointer, super cool. But y'all, this just came out in the past couple of months and I am pumped about this. Okay, annotate. You can now annotate directly in Google Slides without any other tools needed. So again, hover and get your three dots and do turn on the pen. Okay, look, you've got your pen down here with a couple of colors. Now, it's not the color wheel, so maybe that's coming, but honestly, these are the colors that I have. This works for me. And so with annotate, you just annotate over the slides. Can you say OMG? Now, I did that with my mouse, and I'm pretty pumped that I was able to do that. But so you get the idea. And here's the coolest thing. When you change slides, the annotations stick to this slide. So when I go to my next slide or I go back, the annotations are not there. And I can come over here and annotate on this slide. Oh, wow. This is so cool. That's supposed to be an arrow. That's terrible. But you get the idea. So this is something that is relatively new. If you have not found it, y'all, this is a game changer. One of my favorite new tools that they have. And just notice that you do have an eraser. The bad thing about the eraser is it's all or nothing. And so on this slide, if I annotate and I need to erase, I can't just erase my stupid looking arrow, unfortunately. It's erase all. I do believe they're going to update that, but for right now, it's just erase all. But it just does it on this slide. And if I go back to my next slide, my annotations are still there. The other good thing is that the annotations, when I close out my slideshow, they don't stay on this slide because obviously I don't want that to be part of my slideshow. So they don't stick, they'll go away, which I love, okay? So, and then once you're done, you can just go turn off the pen and then that goes away, but your annotations are still there. Okay. This is another thing that I love that not a lot of people know about. You can actually turn on captioning when you're doing slides presentations. And so if I go to the three dots and captions preference, I can toggle on. Now you can only do English, but what it's going to do is if you have a microphone attached to your computer, it is going to caption whatever it is you are saying, which is a super helpful tool when you're doing presentations or if you have students in your classroom that maybe need to read, not just listen to what you're saying. Reading is how they internalize that information. So love that you can just turn this on and it does the captioning at the bottom of your screen. Now you can move it to the top if you want to put it at the top. It's up to you. If I'm presenting in a classroom, I would probably have it at the top because it's probably harder to read at the bottom of the page, but you get the idea. And then once you're done, you can just go to captions preference and turn it off. One other thing I will tell you about captioning is it does not pick up potty words. So just know that like if a student tries to be funny and shouts out an appropriate word, it's not going to pop it up there. Inappropriate, not appropriate word, inappropriate. Okay, so I'm going to turn my captioning off. Last little thing is Q&A mode, and I find not a lot of people either know about this or not a lot of people use it. I love this feature, and basically what Q&A mode is, I'm going to go to more and turn on Q&A, and notice it's going to give me a separate little pop-up window. I'm going to say start new, and basically what it does, it gives me an menu bar at the top with another link that I can send to my students. And when they go to this link, this is what they see. It's just basic thing where they can ask questions. And so as I'm going through my presentation talking about this, they can be in here asking questions. Now I'm signed in as asking as me. You do have the option to ask anonymously. Right now, I think in the admin panel, you can turn that off. So your district can have that on or off, but I'm going to say submit. But if everybody's looking at this same page and 5 other students have the same question, they can upvote it and say, ooh, I have this question too, and it will move it to the top of the question list. And as the teacher, as you're presenting, you can just slide over to the little pop-up window and see, ooh, look, there's a question again. And from here, I can even present the question to the class saying, okay, we have a couple of students that are asking this, how do you annotate again? Let me show you. I'm going to come over here, turn on the pen, whatever. And then when I'm done, I go to my little pop-up window and I hide it, and I go back to my presentation and I keep teaching. But it's a way for you to have a pulse on the questions that the students have, especially for those students that don't feel comfortable enough to raise their hand and say, can you show me that again, or I'm not sure I'm understanding. They can put it in there, ask anonymously, which is super helpful, so they're not embarrassed about the questions that they might have. And then whenever you're done and you want to turn it off, you just say off. It goes back to your presentation, and I'm going to escape real quick just to show you. There is going to be a record. If you go to Tools and Q&A History, there's going to be a record of the Q&As that you have for each time you do the presentation and start the Q&A mode in Slides presentation. So couple of tips for you in Google Slides when you're in presentation mode. Laser pointer's fun. Annotate is phenomenal and new and so much fun and so helpful. Captioning, I love, and then the Q&A mode, which is one of my favorite things ever. So hope this helps. Hope you learned something new today, and I will see you again on another Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day.